Hey everyone, it's Dave with Alaskan Homesteading. Today, I've got a greenhouse update for you, as you might have guessed from looking behind me. So we have been very, very busy. I am getting a ton of plants transplanted out here now. We've been growing indoors in some racks under a lot of grow lights for the last couple of months, and I think we planted a little early, just based on how late spring has come to South Central Alaska. But anyway, I'm going to turn the camera around and show you some of the plants that we've got, show you the greenhouse a little bit, and talk about what we're doing. So this is our greenhouse. It's a pretty good size. I forget. It's like 12 by 20 feet long or something like that. But I've been collecting these adjustable shelving units to use out here, going on Facebook Marketplace looking for whatever people have got. I got this thing on sale over at Lowe's. That'll get some of the smaller plants that move out here in the next few days. And over here, I'll just give you a quick tour. We've got some tomato plants. These guys, I think, we're getting a little overwatered, and so they need a little rest from the watering. But it's nice and warm out here in the greenhouse, so they should be okay. I've got some bush beans growing, several pots of those guys. You can see some damage on the leaves. One of our house cats decided that bean leaves are a tasty snack, so they took some damage, but hopefully they'll be okay. But yeah, we're growing Polar Beauty and subarctic tomatoes this year. Here's some rhubarb that I started from seed. That is really nice and healthy, good sized plants. And then tomatoes. Now, some of these tomatoes, these healthier ones, I actually started in a hydroponic system that my parents gave me for Christmas. It's a really cool little device. Basically, it's just a tray with a light over top of it and some compartments that you can fill with water and some nutrient solution, and it will it'll feed the plants for you as they grow. It's based sort of loosely on the AeroGarden design, but without any kind of like bubbler or anything. It's just still water in these chambers, and you just keep topping it up. But they came out really nice. They're nice and rich green. We've got a bunch of fruit already set, and here we are. It's not even May, so I have high hopes for these actually ripening in here. We've got a ton of this OS Cross cabbage, and we were starting to worry about it because it's kind of spindly. It didn't look like it was going to set ahead, and I've heard, oh, well, if they're too crowded, they'll do that. I've heard different things, depending on soil nutrients and so on. There's a couple that are looking a little bit better, like they have a better chance of making a head. So we've got them set out here. Yeah, a bunch of cabbage. We like our cabbage. Another tomato plant. Again, this one was started indoors several months ago. We started a lot of this stuff in the hydroponic system back in February, and so that's been going for quite some time. Over here, we've got some cucumbers, and I've been hand pollinating those guys. They've already got some flowers. And in these pots, we have shell peas here, and more cucumbers in here, and then snap peas in these two pots. And this is all very experimental. I've grown gardens before in other places. My best garden was in New Jersey. Great place to grow food if you happen to live there. But we have a little bit of different situation here in Alaska, very different climate zone. But these plants, they came up pretty well. They look nice and healthy. They started climbing when we gave them some string and these cages to grab onto. So that is pretty much that for the plants out here in the greenhouse so far. And now I'll give you a little tour of the greenhouse systems. I'm a systems person. I like tinkering. I like automation. And this is a really neat thing that actually the previous owner had installed in the greenhouse. This needs a little TLC. It's not mounted very well anymore. But what you're looking at is a thermostatic control. And so it is hooked up to run this fan and another fan down at the other end. That one pulls air in, and this one exhausts air out. The point being, you don't want your greenhouse getting too hot, so I have this set right now for 24 degrees and with a 3-degree differential. So when it gets up to 27, it should click back on and run the fans for a while until the temperature drops down. The temperature probe is up here, a little bit higher up in the greenhouse, just so that it's kind of in the zone where the plants are. These guys are going to be a little cooler on the floor. They'll be a little warmer up the top. But that gives us some automation for ventilating the greenhouse. I've got a few different thermometers and things in here. One that sits on this shelf shows it is currently 74.8 in here. So right where I have it set, more or less, 24 degrees C is about 75 Fahrenheit. I have a sensor up here that does a bunch of things. It does temperature, humidity, motion, light level, and so on. That one's a Z-Wave sensor hooked up to my home automation system. And then we have the diesel heater. So this is a new system I put together about a week ago. I haven't gotten a chance to really use it, but now that we've brought a whole bunch of plants out here, we're going to have to run this thing overnight a couple of times, I think. This week, we're right on the borderline, and where we are, it does get a little cool, so I'm hoping to just keep it right around 50-ish in here. As long as we don't get down below about 40, I think we'll be okay. Obviously, the tomatoes definitely like it warmer, but the cool weather crops, we've got some brassicas out here, the rhubarb, those things will be fine with some cooler temperatures. Well, there you have it. That's all I've got time for today. This is just a quick update on the greenhouse and the planting so far this year. We've got a lot coming, and there's more plants inside. I still have to pot up and bring out here, but we're working on it bit by bit, and as weather and time allow. Thanks so much for watching. If you're enjoying this content, go ahead and give me that thumbs up. If you want to see more of it, subscribe, and we will see you in the next video.